All right, question 11. They want to know if this table shows a proportional relationship between the number of dozens of eggs and the cost. Anytime you see a table in math, typically the first column is going to be the x value and the second column will be the y value. That's typically true more often than not, but you can also remember that y is the dependent variable and therefore it depends on the value of x. So in other words, like how much something costs is going to be dependent on how much you're buying, right? All right, if you buy nothing, it's not going to cost anything. That's why the cost depends on the x value, essentially. The y value depends on the x value. All right, moving on. So anyway, is this a proportional relationship? Any proportional relationship is going to have a constant of proportionality of y divided by x. All right, so we're going to take our y value and divide it by our x value, 21 divided by 6. For the first row, when you do that, you will get in your calculator 3.5 or 3.5. All right, if you do that for the next row, 28 divided by 8, you will also get 3.5, right? 8 goes into 28 3 times. Your denominator is still 8. 8 times 3 is 24. I need 4 more to get to 28. 4 is half of 8, so that's also 3.5. And I could do this for the rest of these, but you essentially need to make sure that this relationship of y divided by x is 3.5 for the entire table. And if you do that, you'll find the answer is yes. 35 divided by 10 is 3.5, and 49 divided by 14 is also 3.5. So that is a big old yes. Question 12. Does this equation y equals 8x show a proportional relationship between x and y? Any proportional relationship essentially means that y is a constant multiple of x, where m is the unit rate. It's the constant of proportionality. And right now they're saying that 8 is m, so y equals 8x. So we want to know, is y a constant multiple of x? Well, yeah, it is. It's 8 times what x is, right? And if you want to double check that, if you want to know if it's a proportional relationship, it's going to have to be a straight line, and it's also going to have to go through the origin. So you can say, well, I can make a table. What if x is 0? If x is 0, you put a 0 in for x. 0 times 8 will give you what y equals. Well, what's 0 times 8? That's 0, right? So if x is 0, then y is also 0. Guess what? That's 0, comma 0. That's your first coordinate. That's running through the origin, isn't it? Right? And then, you know, if x is 1, you put a 1 in for x, and you still multiply by 8, and that will give you what y equals. What's 1 times 8? That's 8. So when x is 1, y is 8, right? When x is 2, 2 times 8, y will be 16. When x is 3, 3 times 8 is 24. Y would be 24. And so you see that y is a constant multiple of what x is. Y is going to be 8 times greater than what x is, and that's what it says right here. So therefore, you know, if you graph this out with each coordinate here, you will eventually realize that yes, in fact, if I graph this, it'll be a straight line, and it's going to run through the origin. All right. So that's a proportional relationship for sure. 8 is the constant of proportionality there. Last question. This equation describes a proportional relationship between x and y. What is the constant proportionality? Well, as you might recall from every single question we've done so far, the constant of proportionality, or the unit rate, is m, and that's therefore this right here, which is 2/3. All right? 2/3. Enter your answer as an integer or a fraction, so that would be good. And how you'll type it in is just 2/3 on your Chromebook or your computer. All right, guys, go get them.